Okay, so I'm going to try to hardwire my radar detector into the BMW, and that means I need to tap some power somewhere else in the vehicle. And right now I'm targeting that I'm probably going to try to pull power from this segment up here. To pull it out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just get in behind here and back here, and it sort of comes out all by itself. Well, not all by itself. It's got a spring sort of catching it on the four corners. So I'm going to pull that out, and then I'm going to see what's behind there. There's obviously some power, right? Because these are the map lights. So that's always powered, and I'll see if I can find something that goes to 12-volt accessory. Okay, so I literally just started prying with my fingers and pull it out just to let you know what it looks like so far. There's the spring clips. Just holding it in. Those are on the back side too, so I'm going to start trying to pull the back as well. Oh, there we go. Make sure nothing else fell out. Okay, but now I feel like I'm catching on this side, so I'm going to fiddle with that and see what it takes to get it out the rest of the way. Okay, so I have it out of the top. Let me show you how this came out. So you have the spring pressure elements, front and back, right here, right? So I was able to pull those down, but then it still wasn't coming out all the way. And there's these two tabs here that, you know, from the outside I was able to push in with my thumbs, and then that released it on this, and then on the right side, and then I was able to angle it out. So this is the light display. That came out pretty easy. So I've got some wires to look at. That's what the rest of it looks like up here. I'm gonna see if I can find some power. I'm sure one of these has to have power in it. Okay, so here it is. Thing. You can see there's one that is thick and red. That's your positive. There's also one that's thick and brown. That is your negative. Put ports into them right here. And of course down here we can read that we have 12 volts. So if we need 12-volt power, we could tap, you know, the brown and the red, and we totally get it. The thing is, of course, I'm going to hunt a little bit more and see if we can find one that turns on 12 volts only when the car's on. Right now the car's off. It's just 12-volt constant. But worst case scenario, you know, not a surprise. You look at the big, you know, how thick those wires are compared to the rest. The thickest wires off the right side, so the passenger side plug, are the ones that are pulling, you know, tap straight into the positive and negatives. Okay, so for the ground, it is the brown one. For the power, it is the 12-volt. Note that these are continuously on, so this will be a parasitic draw if you leave your radar detector plugged in. If you want one that shuts off with an accessory, you'll need to hunt a little bit longer to find out which one of these other wires you could do, which is 12 volts when on, and when you shut it off, it's done. I'm not going to take that time today. I might spare that time a different day, but I'm going to tap these. To tap them, I'm going to use one of these guys. The wire slides in this little U, which sort of cuts the exterior insulation and then makes electrical contact with the wire inside. Then you fold these over to complete that, and then it's actually something you can plug into that hole, and I'll make a little pigtail to go in that hole. I'll show you that in a little bit. So next I'm gonna scissor this onto one, and then I'll scissor a different one onto the other one, and then snap them down with pliers. So here this is snapped on there. You can sort of see inside the metal. And then the second piece is this. So in the kit, it just comes with this top part. I took a piece of red wire, stripped the end of it off, then jammed it in there and compressed it to make a little pigtail that I'm going to use to plug in right here. So this plugs into this. I think this was like these pieces in a set of like 3 or 4 pairs. It was like $3. Pretty inexpensive. So that's what's next. Here's a close-up of what these look like compressed in there but open. There's the negative, positive, the pigtails on there. I mean, they're much longer than what I need, but I can always cut back, and you can see that I've got 12 volts now. Next is getting power into the radar detector. For that, I am actually taking some telephone wire that I have left over around the house for some reason, It has a J11 would be the best way to go, which has 4 connectors. This one has 2 connectors, which is just positive and negative. It's just the power. It's not the mute button or anything like that. But this plugs right into my Uniden and my R3, and it does power it up. And then I just cut it back here, really thin wires, and I am going to wire these wires to the pigtails I just put in. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now. I've got the pigtails in, a bit on the red and the black, red and the brown. Also, just for reference, your telephone cord may vary, but mine is actually red to red and green I'm attaching to brown. I really don't know where this telephone came from. I just happened to find it as a scraps laying around the house. Okay, and how do I rig it? There's actually a space right at the back of where you insert the display. It's about, I don't know, a 1/4 inch. So you can slide the wire through that so it comes out the front. And then here it is. And it does work. I've powered it up with the Uniden, but I will put it all together. These wires will just tuck in up in this cubby above here, and then I'll show you the finished product. Okay, so this is the finished product. I have it directly mounted right beneath my mirror. You can see the cable coming out through the top. It feeds down right here. Anyhow, as installs go, I think, for using scraps I found in my house, I think it's turned out pretty good. And here you can see I can power it off, of course, by just pulling out the plug, and then it powers off. And then I can power it on this way. It also has a button on top.
S-band.
It looks like I'll be able to shut it off manually.
Ka band. Laser.
There we go. Well, I hope this helps. You can remove this center section. There's power you can access there. I'm confident there's probably a 12-volt auxiliary as well, but I just tapped it in, and I'll unplug it when I don't use it.